Children, welcome to sociology class. Today we are going to begin the new chapter in your textbook. It is unit 3 and chapter 1, individual and society. This chapter has been divided into 3 parts. I'll teach you this chapter in 3 parts. In the first part we'll study society, its definition and characteristics. In the second part we'll study rural society, its characteristics and problems, and in the third part, urban society, characteristics and problems. So let us begin the first part, society. Society is natural to man. Human nature is such that an individual cannot live in isolation. So by nature, man likes to live in society, so we call man a social animal. Loneliness is burdensome for man. An individual may be able to bear it temporarily, but he cannot totally cut himself off from his fellow beings. So man cannot live alone. He always wants to live in a group with other human beings. History reveals that, like other living creatures, human beings moved in groups. They began to behave in specific ways to meet their own physical needs of food, clothing, and shelter according to their environment. Thus, human societies began to thrive when he came into contact with other human beings. So human beings have been able to develop their social world, much of their own satisfaction and comfort. So again, I have to say that man is a social animal, not only by nature but also by necessity. So these are the necessities which have made him social. He needs society for his existence. His material and emotional needs make it necessary for man to live in cooperation with other fellow beings. An individual needs people all the time to fulfill his needs, whether they are the primary needs or the secondary needs. Hence, man's life is impossible except in society. So both influence each other. Man is a part of society, man also influences the society. On the other hand, society also influences the man. So we can say that society is necessary for man, not only for his existence but also for what is called a good life. So if a man wants to lead a good life, he has to live in society or in a particular group that is called society. So now let us see what is society. So according to McIver and Page, our society is a web of social relationship, right? So we study different kinds of social relationships in a society or whenever we talk about society. An individual alone cannot make a society. He enters into varied kinds of relationships by becoming a part of the small and large groups to satisfy his needs. And this living and sharing with the others help in the development of human societies. So here is a definition of society. Society is a group of people who share a common culture or the ways of life, occupy a territorial area, means a geographic area, and are bound to each other by a common history. So again I am repeating this definition. A society is a group of people who share a common culture, occupy a territorial area, and are bound to each other by a common territory. So children, After that, we shall see or we shall study some of the common characteristic features of society. So let us begin. The first feature of society, or the first characteristic feature of society, is that society consists of people. So our society is always composed of people. Without the people, our society cannot be formed. Like without the students and the teachers, there can be no college and no university. Similarly, without people, there can be no society, no social relationship, and no social life at all. So, second feature is mutual interaction and mutual awareness. Society is a group of people in continuous interaction with each other. It refers to the reciprocal contact between two or more persons. Society is understood as a network of social relationship. So it is a mutual interaction and mutual awareness also. Third point is society depends on likeness. The principle of likeness is essential for society. It exists among those who resemble one another in some degree, in body and in mind. Likeness refers to the similarities. So people have similarities with regard to their needs, works, aims, ideals, values, outlook towards life, etc. So the main characteristic feature of society is likeness or the similarity between the members of society. Then our fourth point is society rests on difference too. So not only similarity is existing in society, but there are differences also which are essential to form a society. So society also implies difference. A society based entirely on likeness and uniformities is bound to be loose in socialities. So differences are necessary. If people are exactly alike, their social relationship would be very much limited, and there would be little give and take and little reciprocity also. So differences are also must. Otherwise, it would become monotonous and uninteresting. Next point is cooperation and division of labor. It is the next feature, cooperation and division of labor. Division of labor involves the assignment to each unit or group. So there are many groups in a single society. A specific share of a common task. For example, the common task of producing cotton clothes is shared by a number of people, like the farmers who grow cotton, then the spinner, the weavers, the dyers, and the merchants. Similarly, at home, work is divided and shared by father, mother, and children. So division of labor leads to specialization, and it is the main feature of a society. Then society implies interdependence also. The members of the same society depend on each other, so it is characterized by interdependence. Family, which is the most basic social group, is the best example which can be given here. It is based upon the interdependence of men and women. One depends upon the other for the satisfaction of one's needs. So next is society is dynamic. We cannot say that any society is static in nature, but society is always dynamic. Whether it is a primitive society or the modern society, it is always dynamic, and changes are always present in the society. So changeability is an inherent quality of human society. So changes occur from time to time and depends upon society to society. So no society can ever remain constant for any length of time, and changes always take place. Some of the changes are very slow and some of the changes are very fast, right? But changes is an essential feature of society, so we say that it is dynamic. Next is social control. Society has its own ways and means of controlling the behavior of its members. Cooperation exists in society, but side by side, competitions, conflicts, tensions, and separations are also there. So they appear and reappear off and on. It is must. They are to be controlled, and the behavior or the activities of people are to be regulated. So also it has, means society has legislation, constitution, police, court, army and other formal means of social control to regulate the behavior of its member. And then next point is culture. So every society has its own culture. So culture and society go together. It includes, means the culture includes the whole range of our life. It includes our attitudes, judgments, morals, values, beliefs, etc. So this culture actually distinguishes one society from the other. So culture is an essential feature of any society. And children, we have discussed here 9 features or characteristic features of society. So at least you learned 5 or 6 features for a long answer question. So that's all for today. In the next video, we'll study the rural society.